I want to make a comment, actually, and I'm going to try and say this without crying. I've known Ben for 20 years, and I knew your mom. And I think this would make her really, really happy. And he did a lovely job. That crib scene is probably my favorite. But combined with all of those aspects and everything you're talking about and adding the humor, make it easy to get through. Yeah, totally.
And that's kind of why I had to have the shot of my mom's thing, the flying. She texted me this morning, she's fine.
Because, you know, I had this story in my head since 2001, my mom died, and like she was wearing this necklace in the hospital. And when she passed away, the nurse took the necklace and said, "This is called the healing hand, it's known to take the pain away." So I was like, I'll never take it off. So it's like she said to me what Dan said in the movie, like, just wear this necklace and you won't feel alone.
Nice. And just how your heartaches can be turned into art, you know, like I always say something about my childhood, and you know, I had a really fucked up childhood, but I was loved.
You survived your childhood.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say, like my childhood was so screwed that like now as an adult, like what can you throw at me? You know, like what? I never thought that anybody would help me. I only knew how to do it by myself. So there never was like somebody else is going to come along and save me. Somebody is going to come along and hire me. It wasn't a part of my upbringing. It doesn't exist. So I don't even begrudge all the things that I've gone through to get here.
It makes you an excellent teacher too, by the way.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta go feed a meter. That was beautiful. I'll be right back if you guys are still here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like you asked a brilliant question a moment ago when you said, how long did this take? And I think that the most interesting thing about this, because I'm willing to bet a lot of you are sitting on scripts or ideas right now, like all actors. So what's interesting is Ben had the wherewithal to do this, you know, once he said to Chris, hey, what can I do one day? Like, how could I do this? And then he did the Doritos commercial. So from the moment that you asked how long this took, and it was said a year, well, remember it only took 2 days to film. So if you're Ben and you just thought, okay, well, I was successful with Doritos, let me come up with something, and I have this idea, that was a year process. If you are someone else in here who has just never had the physicality of, well, I didn't ask for something I needed, I didn't get my friend together who's the carpenter, who's the filmmaker, it doesn't have to take a year. Like, he built this from saying, hey, here's a thought, to could this become a script? Most actors have scripts they're sitting on, and just never thought they could actually say, can I do this? So that's just something to remember, 2 days.
Also remember that Ben wrote this and set it into motion, but he had to live through the Dan saying, well, I don't like this part, Chris saying, I don't like this part. You know, you have to live through, but luckily, and this is really, really, really crucial because I'm set to film another film really soon. I owe the woman a phone call. I'm here. Anyways, this one's going to be something that's supposed to be shot in the desert. It's a little bit more expensive, way more ambitious. It's supposed to be like a CNN thing where you watch a death in real time happen to the cameraman. And I'm really inspired by a documentary on a war photographer named Tim Hetherington. If you've never seen it, it's the same people that made the Restrepo documentary. Absolutely excellent. But anyways, in going through that process, we just had a meeting with a guy who was really in the military and had been in Afghanistan, been in Iraq, and is the shit, knows everything about this milieu, and he's helping us with this. But in the meeting, he was poo-pooing everything about the script, not a script that I've written. It's a script from a scriptwriter who writes for money, like his name's on a lot of big shows, and he was poo-pooing everything because he is the expert, but he didn't have any solutions. So it's just an hour of negative fest, and the phone call I need to make is like, that was kind of negative, what's going on with that? Like, I like that he knows what he's talking about, but every time I'd ask him, like, how would you change it? He goes, well, I don't know. You don't need that guy. Okay, so me and Dan, right. I think he's going to be relegated to stunts and guns and stuff like that because I can't have that, you know. And with us, we gave him a solution. It wasn't just poo-pooed it. Like we're on this project. We're going to do this, you know. And I'll tell you, a lot of things. One of the biggest factors that made me do it is maybe the script wasn't ready, but Ben had a product he had made before that I saw turned out. So I was like, on the strength of his Doritos, I knew that with this crew, with us, we could get there, and I think that today's proof that we did, you know, or as close as we could. Yes, Bailey?
I have another 2 questions. Sorry, it's all making me think.
Don't be sorry, we're loving the questions.
Did you understand or know he was going to go through a post-production before shooting?
Absolutely.
Because in experiences that I've had, people get cameras real quick and Red Dragons, and too many times I've been involved in situations where the products aren't done because they didn't understand the post-production to it. So they have all this pre-production and all the footage and it can't be used at all. So you said you understood all that before starting?
Well, not only that, like with the storyboards, I already knew what it looked like. Like I already knew how the puzzle went together and how the lighting would go together. We kind of have that answer before, and then you get pleasant surprises as you go. But yeah, planning was all of it. Now, that being said, I'm also not afraid to do something like I told you guys about medium cool and just fly by the seat of my pants. The idea with the car shot was like literally us. So you're always prepared and then always willing to jettison your plan. Like that's another big part of filmmaking is you're so prepared that you can jettison your plan. You know what I mean? And did you have another one?
Yeah, did you move the body of the mother?
What do you mean?
I wasn't sure, it could just be my perspective of how I was looking at it, but I remember with like the up close of Joe crying over his mom, it seemed like the point of view was on one side, maybe so that he was standing to the mother's right, and then when they came in together, it looked as though they might have been standing over the left side, so I wasn't sure if they moved the body or...
No, both times they were on her right side. So when the two come in, and then you got the low Tarantino shot of them, and then when he's also on the right, yeah. But we shot that, and again, kind of Aronofsky has an influence there. You know, we have you're in real time where he's crying, but then what you're seeing there is multiple times in what with the overlay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was a camera trick.
Yeah, camera trick. And again, Ben did the thing with the necklace where like it was going in one direction, and by reversing it went in the other direction. So it looks like I can't remember whether he was picking it up, and we made it.
He was picking it up, and then
we made it look like he was putting it back down, even though that didn't happen. That was just a clever idea that Ben had, you know, that fixed the problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, good.
Can we watch the Doritos commercial?
Oh, we will.
Yeah, we will have time. We're here. We've got until 3:30, so maybe when we finish questions, we'll end with the Doritos commercial. How's that sound?
How's it?
Okay. Amber, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Also, Amber is one of the people that runs the lounge over here. She's up in the booth, and she is amazing. Okay. We probably won't go to 3:30. I'm just saying we have space at 3:30. Yes, ask me.
Well, I just wanted to say, I was so working. You guys
Hold on, I'm leave for a second. All right, go ahead and ask so we can hear you.
Oh, I just want to say I was so inspired by this. I had this idea. My dad, unfortunately, also passed, and there were a series of supernatural events that occurred before we get up to his passing and a few after. And the thing that was really stopping me, besides the fact that it's hard to do something like this, but emotionally, but is that I was so concerned about the costs of visual effects and things like that I just stopped myself in my tracks. And what I saw you guys doing, being able to bring the supernatural element without having to have all these visual effects in such a creative way that it just seriously inspired me. I'm just...
Well, thank you. She wanted to clap for that. Well, I really appreciate that, and we had discussions about this. Because I know a guy that the guy was telling me about that did the thing for the elephant with the televisions. You can look this up. Look this up on YouTube. The Lady and the Taxi Driver. The Lady and the Taxi Driver. And what this filmmaker has done is he's put my dear friend Alex Hoover, who's an actress that I've directed in 14 different plays. He puts her in the back seat of De Niro's cab in Taxi Driver, and her and De Niro have a scene. And when I saw that, I'm like, this guy can do anything, and it looks seamless. So and then in the next thing I shot for David Harper, we needed a fly buzzing around, and we CGI'd a fly in there. Okay, and again, he taught himself how to do this off of YouTube. Okay, right? So I knew that we could CGI some things, but we chose not to. I chose to go lo-fi, and one of my biggest influences is a film called The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Okay. Michelle Gondry, Charlie Kaufman wrote it with Jim Carrey. Obviously, if you're a female and you don't know Clementine by now, you should. Kate Winslet in that role is like a career-defining role.
Yeah.
And in that film, what Gondry did, and I highly recommend that you watch the extras on the DVD. They show you a making of, and there's all these things in that film where there's like forced perspective, where Jim Carrey looks like he's a little kid under the table, but it's large-sized Jim Carrey. And there's moments where you're in the kitchen and then you go through a door, and now you're on an ice, a lake ice, and he did it all in camera. They built it that way. Like, instead of doing CGI, they built a set for them to walk through out onto the ice. So I decided that we were just going to do it with sound effects. So like when he grabs the heart, you hear the thump, 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 thump. That could have been a cartoon or something like that. But we're just on Dan's face, and I thought, and then the idea of the switch around in time, total Coen Brothers thing. When the book comes to the camera, that's so Coen Brothers. And again, kind of a happy accident. That book with the skull on the front is just one of my journals. And it was one of my journals because my mom bought it for my younger brother, and he left it at my house, and he never wanted it back, and so I used it, and then we used it in the film, you know what I mean? So yeah, I love that you appreciated that. And so I guess the point I'm making, it was more just our good ideas that pulled it off. There isn't much, other than the credits, there's no real, heavy CGI or anything like that. It's all, we did it on the day with the camera and our gumption. Anything else to share? Anybody? Yeah.
I guess that was Bill Reed.
The early Twilight Zone.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I got that, the Twilight Zone.
Lars von Trier's senior shot.
Yeah, okay, Lars von Trier is a Danish filmmaker, another huge influence on me. And Lars von Trier is a part of the Dogma movement. And the Dogma movement in Europe is only using available light, only using what you have. No artificial anything, no CGI, so he's an absolute hero of mine. And one of my absolute favorites of his is Breaking the Waves.
Yeah.
Breaking the Waves. And again, the drug scene in the bathroom. Total Breaking the Waves, total Requiem for the Dream. They both came out around the same part. I'm loving that you guys are loving or just seeing the references. Seeing the references.
It was right.
The cinematography was great. That's great, right?
But it was Twilight Zone in the sense that it had a message. You know how Rod Serling was such a
Yeah, yeah.
It was always a political statement. It was a moment where...
We had talked about, we've talked about the Twilight Zone, and another big Twilight Zone influence on me is the actual Twilight Zone movie. It's not the greatest movie. Spielberg's part is okay. The Vietnam part got truncated because Vic Morrow died. But the opening sequence with Albert Brooks and Dan Aykroyd. You want to see something scary where they're playing the Creedence? I fucking love that one. And it's one of the... watch the opening of the Twilight Zone because it's a perfect short film. It's a perfect short film. Another thing for your short film needs that would be great inspiration is a film called New York Stories, where Scorsese makes a piece, and Scorsese's is perfect. It's got Nick Nolte and Rosanna Arquette in it, a lot of Dylan and music in it, and White Shit Pales in it. And then Coppola makes the centerpiece, and Sofia Coppola, his then teenage daughter, wrote it, and then Woody Allen makes the third piece. So in a film that made it to the, I think it was made by Universal, one short film by Scorsese, one short by Coppola, one short by Woody Allen. Give me a break, right? You need to see that, don't you? All right. What else? Anything else? Anybody? Yeah, Dan.
I just want to say one thing. Again, you had really good questions. You mentioned too, you brought up a very good point about a lot of people in town, they have like red dragons and they have this specific camera and they either know how to use it or don't, but maybe they don't have lighting and sound. And so the hardest thing for an actor, and especially like, you'd be astonished because everyone is supposed to have cameras here, we're all supposed to know how to do it, but no one does. So if you don't have $7,000 or a budget, if you didn't already learn how to do this through a Doritos commercial and then know how you can get this together, then the greatest gift that Ben gave me is I was on set for 2 days with Bill and his crew. So is this Jennifer. Sorry, there's two Jennifers. So I'm like, which one? So this Jennifer was there too.
Lang,
yeah.
Jennifer.
So both of us got the opportunity to think in our brain, hey, I have one of those friends that has a red dragon. They don't have anything else, but they know how to use that. And again, that comes down to that question, how much does this cost and what can you do or what do you need? So I could turn to the sound guy. Maybe I can't afford Bill, but I work 2 days with a sound guy. I'm at Sixto. I could ask on set, right? So now I have people to utilize.
Hire Sixto, pay it.
Yeah, and I can say, hey, I can't afford this, but how much does this cost? Or go to be able to go to the Red Dragon guy and say, what do you need? Is it sound? Because I can afford that, or I know that guy. So just start thinking that. I've never been on a set as a PA or an actor that I didn't think, I can't afford that, but how much does this guy cost? Or this girl? Okay.
Yes.
And then another way to look at it is oftentimes, like I said, I teach film school classes for actors because actors don't go to film school and film school directors don't take acting classes. And oftentimes somebody's gone to film school and they know how to operate a camera, but they have no content. And you might have the content. We were talking about, so I just met an animator. She knows how to animate, but she has no content. I have the content. Do you see how those marriages need to happen? You know what I mean? So, and then one other thing that I want to say is in my scene study class, the whole class is built to be on this kind of DIY fashion. I make the students film things when we're supposed to. I've got footage of Elizabeth I was going to show today. You know the shot you did on the street, Elizabeth? That was one of my favorite scenes that you ever did. And where we went out to the street and shot it rather than remaining in a classroom. Like your classroom is the street with filmmaking, not the classroom. And then if we're going to film a sitcom, I have 3 cameras. We'll film it with the 3-camera setup. You know, like always trying to replicate what it's like either in an audition or on set and teaching you guys how to do it yourself. You know what I mean? So, and just if you're interested in that, like you're talking about being inspired, like this all came from that class. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing happened because that class exists. So, any other questions or comments or anything?
I'll leave you guys with a thought, and we'll do the Doritos, and we'll be out. You guys seen the movie The Hangover? Yeah, good movie. And the second, and the second one, and the third one. And in the third, and throughout the 2 movies, like Stu, one of the characters, is a dentist. And he's always trying to say, I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor. No, you're a dentist. No, you're a dentist. And he's went through so much crazy stuff. In one of the final scenes of the 3rd movie is he's driving a limo trying to chase someone on a parachute, trying to catch him. And he's on the phone talking to his friends like, I can't do this, I'm just a dentist. And the guy goes, no, you're a goddamn doctor. So my point is, all the times I've ever felt scared and unsure of myself, like I'm just an actor, no, Ben, you're a fucking producer, now go get him.
Thank you.
And the big idea about today was inspiration for you. Don't wait another minute. Go make it. Fuck it up. Fail at it. It'll teach you how to make a good one. Okay? And, one of the things that I've been seeing around town, I've had a number of auditions recently where these scripts everybody's going this way, where they're using historical moments to act as parables for our moments now. Like I recently went in to play Joseph McCarthy. If you haven't noticed, we're in kind of a McCarthy era right now. Okay. Another one was what was the other parable? Where I went in and played Jack Warner of the Warner Brothers. And if you know the story of the Warner Brothers was the first U.S. entity to sever ties with the Nazis. In 1933, not doing any more business with the country of Germany because Hitler had become the chancellor. Okay? And they used to make half of their money in Germany alone. So the balls it took to stand up before anybody else stood up for it, and they tried to make a film about the Holocaust, the Warner Brothers did, in 1936. We're not even in the war until 1941, and we don't hear about concentration camps in this country until 1944-45.
Yeah.
But the Warner Brothers were Eastern European Jews, and they heard it from letters from people that they knew. So the Warner Brothers were so ahead of the curve, and now there's a piece right now that's on television, which is The Last Tycoon, which was once made into a film by Elia Kazan, who was one of the people blacklisted, or well, almost blacklisted, and that's a whole different story, during the McCarthy era. And it was made with De Niro, and now they've made it into a new series, and it was F. Scott Fitzgerald's last book, but all this allegorical stuff. Think about this. Arthur Miller, who also went through the blacklist and did not name names and got to keep his career, okay, unlike people like Dalton Trumbo, he wrote a play called The Crucible, which was hearkening back to the witch trials to say something about what was happening in the 1950s, and that is what you're seeing with content today, with the fucked up world that we have. Go back in time to talk about today. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why we're showing you the social consciousness in film class, and I'm going to show you all kinds of times where people have taken their, you know, political standard and made it into art. Okay? So now's the time, and there's an audience for it right now. Okay? There's an audience for it. What's that?
History repeats.
History repeats itself, and the reason why history repeats itself is because we don't know history. Exactly. Exactly. All right, anything else, guys? All right, Amber, you want to...
Let's talk you through it.
We're going to show the Doritos already. And then you guys are free to go. Thank you all.